Call me, 352-528-0020.
Kevin Costner and Modern West take Ocala by storm when they hit the Circle Square Cultural Center stage on Saturday, August 27th. That's right, see award-winning actor and singer-songwriter Kevin Costner up close and personal at the Circle Square Cultural Center. Kevin Costner and Modern West perform a rocking blend of original and famous music. Tickets on sale now. Visit csculturalcenter.com. That's csculturalcenter.com. Or call 352-854-3670.
Nestled in the heart of horse country, just off I-75 exit 354, the award-winning and newly refreshed Howard Johnson Inn of Ocala invites you to pamper yourself in one of our comfy guest rooms. Enjoy our free and fast Wi-Fi, heated outdoor swimming pool, 24-hour fitness center, and our deluxe continental breakfast. Other on-site amenities include a restaurant, putt-putt golf, and a car wash. Go happy, go Hojo at the Howard Johnson Inn of Ocala, proud sponsor of Friday Night High School Football on WOCA, The Source.
Ocala's information station, 1370 WOCA. Ocala.
All right, 22 minutes after 9 o'clock. Do you remember when the word gluten first entered our vocabulary? I thought it was a misspelling of the word glutton. I thought if you ate enough of it, you're going to get fat.
Oh, yeah. It was really
gluten. Yeah, so it was one of those words we learned. And then there was this other genetically modified organisms, or GMO, and we said, what is that? Has that got to do with a Chevrolet or something? I'm not really sure what that even is. Connie Diekman is on the phone. Connie is a nutrition communications consultant, the director of University Nutrition at Washington University in St. Louis, and a former president of the American Dietetic Association, now known as the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics. She's talking to us about the health and safety of GMOs. Let's find out what the truth is about these things that have been vilified. I don't know if I don't know. I just don't know enough about it. So that's why we're going to learn. Connie, good morning. Connie, how are you?
I'm great, thanks. And you?
I'm okay. Where are you calling from? Missouri?
Yes.
Is that the Show Me State? That's the Show Me State, isn't it?
It is.
All right.
Or the gateway to the West.
The gateway to the West. I'm going to pass through that gateway one day. So tell me about GMOs. Is it a good thing, a bad thing, or is it a mix?
Well, when you look at GM technology, it's a great addition to a farmer's toolbox. It is basically a tool that allows them to think about the crops they're planting. How do I improve my yield? How do I improve the quality of my yield? You know, how can we get more food so that we can feed the population as we continue to grow? So when you look at, is it a good thing? It's an excellent thing as far as I'm concerned as a registered dietitian, because it is looking at the health of Americans and actually of the world.
Do you know, you know, we're not too far from Disney, and there's one of the parks is called Epcot. I'm sure you're familiar with it. And one of the rides or attractions, I guess, in Epcot, this was years ago, you rode through this Farm of the Future thing, and I don't remember what it was called. Was it called The Land, Robin? It was called
yes, The Land.
So, and it showed you the farms of the future and how they were able to produce all this food, and how technology was making so many differences. And I'm sure those predictions were based on scientific discoveries, like how to grow corn and spray for disease and spray for what do you want to say, weeds, and not kill the corn. Isn't that part of this?
That is a part of this. It's really looking at, again, how do we make the farmer's job better? So when we look at the crops that are currently available, you know, the crops that we have, and there's 9 of them that have GM technology as a part of them, they've been designed so that maybe they grow better where you used to not have enough water, or as you say, it allows for less spraying. So now not only is the plant not exposed to as much, but the farmer's not as exposed to as much. And obviously that's a good thing for his or her health as well. So the technology is going to give us better food. It's going to allow the farmer to have a better livelihood because, of course, you know, they love what they do, but they are a business as well. So the technology is really a great addition to the ways in which we take care of our land and produce food.
Well, we've heard that GMOs, though, they don't reproduce, they don't reseed themselves like regular seeds do, like wheat crops, you know, things like that you just have to constantly keep buying, and the farmers can't, replenish their own fields.
there's a lot of confusion out there. And, obviously I'm a registered dietitian, so I'm not a farmer. I will say that right up front. But I have traveled and talked with a lot of farmers. And one of the things I've learned is they are very good stewards of their land. They care about their animals. They care about their land. And they will do what is best for both. And what that means is they need to have the options to follow through on what is best for. And I think when we get into this conversation around, can you or can't you use this or that or whatever, we need to get everybody on the same page and talk about it. Obviously, that's a little bit tricky, but there's a great online resource that people can go to where they can really get this basic information, GMOanswers.com. What you will find there is basic information, but you also can send in your question. For instance, the question you just asked there. You could send that in, and then volunteer experts, I am one of those, we will then, obviously I wouldn't be answering the farming question as I just said, but farmers who are also volunteer experts would provide the answer to your question so that you will get the science-based information, the factual information from that farmer, so you can really feel comfortable about the foods you buy.
So since you are an expert on the nutritional part of this, let's ask you a question about that. One of the accusations, I guess you would say, from those who are opposed to GMO foods say that there could be bad consequences if we are eating genetically modified organism or however, I don't even know how to say the GMO crops or GMO vegetables. Does it apply to meat, by the way, or just to vegetables?
At this point, the GM technology is in plant foods only.
Okay. So what is the answer to the question? Is it all safe, or are there some exceptions to that?
Well, I think, it's really an easy answer for you. It is very safe. Number one, we've been consuming many of these foods for over 20 years. They are in the food supply. Number two, to get in the food supply, some of these foods were researched up to 30, 35 years to prove that safety piece. And then finally, maybe, we can talk icing on the cake sort of here, but the National Academies of Science just recently released a very large study where they went through the body of evidence, and that's important when you talk science, the body of evidence. And they can find absolutely no indications of any connection with GM foods, plants, to any diseases, obesity, food allergies. Bottom line is, National Academies of Science said the body of evidence shows they are safe for human and animal consumption.
So I have two questions about the labeling, if I could ask both at once. Number one is, why is there labeling that indicates GMO? And the other one is, how do I use the information as a consumer? I'm buying a product, and one says GMO something, and the other one doesn't. How do I use that information?
I think to answer your question kind of simply, why will there be labeling? Because, of course, it's not there yet. It's very similar to the current labeling of low fat, low sodium, organic, all the different terms we see on the front of foods. It's one more bit of information to give the consumer as they make their food choices. But what's most important to me as a registered dietitian is not what's on the front of that label, because that's the, so to speak, marketing. What you want to look at is the nutrition facts panel and the list of ingredients. That's where you know what really is in my food.
We're up against the clock, Connie. I apologize. I didn't realize we were so close. Thank you for being on the air. Go to GMOanswers.com. We'll be right back.
Fox News Radio, I'm Pat O'Neill. Maryland residents in recovery mode after weekend flooding that left at least 2 dead. Howard County Executive Alan Kittleman says it's like a war zone.
Whereas Lieutenant Governor Rutherford told me it looks like a set for a disaster movie.
Some 36 businesses in that area damaged or destroyed. The storm's now moving into other parts of the Northeast.
We have a number of watches that have been issued across parts of New Jersey and also in eastern Pennsylvania. And by Wednesday, the heavy rain will be focused across parts of Ohio and extending down into Kentucky.
Fox meteorologist Maria Molina. Officials looking into Saturday's deadly hot air balloon crash in central Texas.
The NTSB says the balloon's original departure time was delayed by 20 minutes, but they haven't nailed down exactly why. A sheriff told investigators there was some fog in the area.
Jennifer Kendall of Fox 7 in Austin. All 16 people on board the balloon were killed. Fox News. We report, you decide.
Napa know-how. Not all store brands are created equal. For example, when you buy Napa brand synthetic motor oil for $2.99 a quart, you're getting a quality product for a great price. Unlike buying store